locking lips and soul ties?
Yeah, I'm like, hold up.
Oh, they was kissing each other. Damn.
Hearts.
Oh. I am so sorry.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, it's me, your girl KylerB, coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 6. We are keeping up with the Peacock's numbering of these episodes. Of course, we do not, count After Sun as an episode, but we're going to keep up with the, where the numbering of Peacocks. So this is Episode 6, just so we know. Moving forward, basically, we left off with Nick in the photo booth with Sierra, basically just after he was kissing Bella up in Soul Ties. So Huda and Jeremiah had a chat basically about the whole Amaya situation. I mean, it's been 4 days. Beforehand, Ace was talking to her and, he was just like, you're kind of unapproachable. It's only 4 days and it seems like you're already closed off. And she's like, no, you can have a chat with him, but, it's still weird and all that stuff. And just like, it's like, girl, it's only 4 days, Huda. Like, calm down.
Listen, like, I don't get mad when people pull people for chats. Like, that's fucking fine. But I think it is weird. Like...
Do you understand we are 4 days in?
Do you understand, Ace, that I don't care?
So, anyways, moving on, Amaya and Jeremiah had a chat. Basically, Amaya is seeing that, not much really. He's kind of locked in with Huda, so she's not really going to chase after him. Ace and Shelly had a chat, and it was kind of like, little sweet little chat, but she was basically like, what do you know about me? Like, do you know anything about me besides, like, I look good, da-da-da-da, like, she had a tattoo that says Made in Miami, because, she's from Miami, so she was kind of telling her, like, the little basics about herself, and, da-da-da-da, and they're, like, she can sing and dance, and, all that.
Singing, writing.
You can sing. You can sing.
You want to hear something?
I definitely do.
Okay. Baby, I'm happy.
But then Amaya's also pulling Ace and, pulling Austin and so on and so forth. Taylor and Ace was in, the bedroom. Nick popped in. So they're like, just the guy that they needed to see. Like, where's your head out the girls? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're 50-50? Like, what's going on? So he was like, he was all loved up with Bella, blah, 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 kissing her or whatever. And then he kissed Sierra. So then they were like, so you really liked Bella enough to kiss Sierra? But he was like, oh, Sierra, like, hopped on him and da-da-da-da. And, I couldn't just resist that, like, da-da-da-da.
Bro.
Where does that leave you with Sierra?
So we went to the photo booth after, and then she kissed. We started making out in the photo booth.
You and Sierra?
Yeah.
But I'm just like, dude, you just kissed Bella. Like, it was like more than just a kiss. It was like y'all laid up with her in Soul Ties, and then next thing you know, it's, photo booth with Sierra. So the guys are just basically like, Nick, what are you doing? What are you doing? So next day, all the guys make breakfast for their girls. Ace makes breakfast for, Shelly and Amaya. Nick for Bella and Sierra. Charlie made breakfast for the first time for Hannah. Taylor, of course, for Landria. Huda with, Jeremiah makes it for Huda. Yeah. So it was raining outside, everything. So basically, it was just kind of like a slow episode. Everybody's just chatting to everybody. So Amaya basically said her kind of like two people that she wants to get to know is, Austin and Ace. Well, I'm just like, she taking Shelly's man. Like, she taking Shelly's man. Like, Shelly had 3 guys looking for her. And now she's trying to fight to keep at least one, because you're trying to take Austin or Ace, which is like the same 2 guys who are interested in her. So like, all right, Amaya, all right, Huda had a chat with the girls and basically was like, oh, you know, realized she was being way too dramatic about her reaction about the whole challenge situation. So then now that she knows that Amaya's not, you know, trying to graft her man, you know, she's sister, that's sister, you know, that's...
I don't typically do. In my brain, I was like, damn, but I was like, I can't get mad, it's a challenge.
Yeah,
but still, it's not
yeah.
nice seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But yeah, once I
get
got
that.
to know you guys more and understand, then I realized, I was like, Huda, you're over fucking reacting.
Yeah, but I feel like that's how it usually happens, like when new people like come in.
Honestly, I feel like we've all gotten a lot closer, especially after just talking things out. We're vibing, and I feel like we all bond, and we're just having a good sisterhood, which is what's really important.
It's her sister now, giving her a big hug because she knows that's not competition anymore. Which I'm just like, girl, like, Huda, please. Like, please. So, Amaya trying to Austin, trying to Ace, you know. Same thing with Shelly, trying to, you know, Ace and Austin. Shelly actually pulls Austin for a chat. You know, they're talking and basically confirming that, you know, they're growing to like each other. You know, it wasn't platonic anymore, but now it's growing into something they're kind of slow burning, blah, 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 blah.
See myself, you know, thinking about like,
This could be more, like...
Yeah, no, I've definitely been thinking that 100% too.
You know, Taylor and Alandra's kind of having that same thing because Taylor, like, Alandra's asking Taylor, like, you know, are you, you know, seeing any progress in a relationship? Like, is it just, you know, stagnant? You know, but she's like, I do appreciate the slow burn because really and truly she is a slow burner. So that's what she's saying. So, you know, but I don't think that's the man for Alandria. So, yeah. Shelly Austin had a chat. Basically, she grown to like Austin, but I mean, I do not want that for Shelly. I do not want that for Shelly. So they get a text right then and there after a chat and basically lets the villain know that there's going to be recoupling, boys are going to be choosing, and the girl not picked is going to be vulnerable. So they got to kick it in high gear. Basically, you know, they're grabbing each other, getting ready for the night, and then grabbing each other for chats. Basically, you know, Sierra and Bella basically trying to get to know where does Nick stand with his 50-50 situation, like where does he really stand. Charlie and Hannah, seems like Hannah came in as a bombshell, basically put her eggs all in Charlie's basket, so they seem pretty locked in. Seem like they like moved up in the span of an episode to be like the top couple. Time for coupling. Aria and Matt comes into the villa, like, you know, comes in the villa, tells the guys, like, it's recoupling time, girls stand up, we're gonna pick you one by one, all that. So basically, it went down the line to, like, the very obvious choices to, okay, who was gonna pick, like, who was, like, very suspenseful. So Jeremiah went first. Of course, he picks Huda. Taylor went next. He picks Alandria. You know, Ariana, she was being like a detective, like, okay, you know, are you happy about the decision? Do you like the decision? Like, you know, since you were coupled up with them, like, what do you like? And, you know, Landra's like, you know, she likes that, you know, we're, you know, getting to know each other, like, you know, it was like every time somebody got coupled up, Ariana was like, okay, do you like your pairing? Like, are you okay with that? Like, are you happy with this couple? Like, give me a little information about this. Like, she was really trying to, you know, be detective here. So, like, okay. So, after Taylor, it was Charlie who was next for their coupling. So, of course, he picks Hannah. So, then it was Ace. Ace was next, and he picked Amaya, which was just like, oh, what happened to Shelly? Like, I thought it was you wanting to get to know Shelly. Shelly, you got stolen away from Shelly, You just want to be about Shelly. I mean, but then it's like, oh, you and Amaya, Shelly and Amaya is 50-50. And you ended up picking Amaya. So she's like, whoa, that was kind of shocking, to say the least. But, you know, basically puts things into perspective. Austin, you know, he saved Shelly, but he basically, because they had a chat earlier and they said that they like starting to like each other, like starting to grow, he said in his speech that he was seeing his life outside the villa. He could see his life outside the villa with Shelly, but he's like, oh, all right, but like, Shelly, we do not want that for you. Like, by any means necessary, we need to find a way for you to be separated from Austin. But unfortunately, there's going to be another week or so before Shelly can be out of a couple of Austin. So we got to see how that operates. Bella and Sierra's left standing. So Nick was the last guy to pick, and he had to make his decision. There's no more 50-50 is who you gonna pick. In a speech, and he was basically saying like, you know, personality, they look good, da da da. And then he said something along the lines of, you know, the moment that we had in the photo booth. And as soon as he said that, every guy knows that he had a time in the photo booth with Sierra. And previously, before that, he had, you know, pictures with Sierra in the photo booth.
The photo booth was unforgettable. Oh shit.
So that just let everybody know. Before he even said the name Sierra, everybody knew it was Sierra he was choosing, which meant that Bella was gonna get dumped. So ended up saying Sierra, coupled up. Bella's not picked. She ends up going home. All the girls sad. Huda took it on the most, you know, and all the girls are sad. So, you know, they go, she had time to pack her bags and then leave. Like, unlike UK, Ariana was just basically like, you know, you have time to pack your bags and da da da. It wasn't like, oh, you got 30 minutes, you gotta go. It was like, you know, you can take the time you need to do so and then say your goodbyes. It wasn't like, oh, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Like, it wasn't like how the UK do. Like, they just be like, get out of here. You got 30 minutes, you got 15 minutes. Like, whoa, like, calm down. Like, you want me to throw everything in my bag and dip. Belle-A is gone, which is unfortunate. I mean, I said in a previous video that Nick wasn't her Christian man, but of course she had to go wild in the last episode, which, you know, changed the narrative. But that was very, you know, not long lasting. Like, it wasn't long lasting. Like, she shouldn't have put all her eggs back into Nick's basket, but because he did do her dirty. But, you know, she wanted to, you know, still graft him, allow him to be 50-50 about her, blah blah blah. You know, she even had her Belle-Dasha moment, and it just unfortunately didn't work. After he talked to her, he was just like, oh, how are you feeling? But she was just like, it's not my loss, it's yours, essentially. He asked for another hug, all that and so on. The girls are sad. They had a little, you know, photo booth, you know, picture moment before, you know, Bella left. And then tomorrow night, there's basically some tea being spilled because Alondria was the one who knew that Bella and Nick had a kiss in soul ties. And the girls don't know. So she's telling it, and she's just like kind of, you know, sad seeing Bella go because she was just laid up with, you know, Nick and soul ties.
Nice. I'm super sad that Bella had to leave. I just felt like I was so blindsided. Yo, Nick was just locked lips and soul ties yesterday.
The truth.
You said locking lips and soul ties?
Yeah.
So when she released that information, Sierra's like, oh, I didn't know this. But he was literally telling you it was 50-50 between the two. Like, unless he was telling you like he was all in on you and then he did that to you. But yeah, she seems very upset by that. So with that being said, it's gonna be a little bit of a mess tomorrow because now Sierra's like, oh, you were up kissing Sierra in soul ties, but then you kissed me 5 minutes later in the photo booth. Yeah, so it's gonna be a day for Nick. So can't wait to see that for tomorrow. But this was episode 6 of Love Island USA season 7. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns, and subscribe to my channel, subscribe. And thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.